My name is Kenneth L. Brooks. I was E1 when I went in the service. That was a private. And when I got out of the service, I was a sergeant.
My name is Willis Whetstone. My rank was E5 when I left the service. I actually put in 10 years. 2 years regular Army, 8 years National Guard.
Name, Scott Percy. My rank was E4 Specialist. I served in the United States National Guard from 1999 to about halfway through 2016. Some of the biggest issues I had while transitioning back was with being in the National Guard, I was also on the civilian side, but I also was on the military side. So there really wasn't a whole lot of expectation because I was still living in both worlds. But dropping the one and just sticking into the civilian side was extremely hard. You didn't have the structure that we had in the military. You didn't have the camaraderie. On the civilian side, nobody understood some of the stuff we went through. And even if you sat down and tried to explain it to somebody, if you never lived watching one of your friends get blown up or anything like that, like how do you explain that to somebody?
Returning home from Vietnam, was like a nightmare. I took my uniform off and I threw it in a trash can in Oakland, California. And I dressed in civilian clothes to get home. Because if they saw you in a uniform, believe me, it was not pleasant. Everybody hated anybody that was in Vietnam. There was people that I knew for years that didn't even know I went to Vietnam. I had friends for 10, 15 years at a time, different friends at different points in my life. They never even knew I went to Vietnam because nobody told anybody. If you were a Vietnam veteran, you didn't come back and advertise it to everybody because to everybody you were a killer. You were not accepted by them. It was a whole different culture out there.
So when I came home, everything was in turmoil. Nowadays, we respect and honor and praise our military. We were spit on and thrown at, called baby killers.
Yeah, I did struggle with isolation and like disconnection because like I had mentioned earlier, trying to explain to the civilian population the things that you've had to do, things you've been through, they just don't understand. So it was like, if you weren't in the military, I really didn't want nothing to do with you because you didn't understand where I was, where I had come from. Most of the people that I hung out with that were still serving drank just as much as I did, so we were always going to the bar, but we would always find bars that had other military folk just like us, and we always seemed to hang out more with the military side of everything than we did on the civilian side. I mean, yeah, we had a handful of people that we would talk to on a regular basis that were civilians, but it wasn't something we looked for.
And people did not like you if you were in Vietnam. It's as simple as that. That's why my age group of people that I know, just like this Will, he never went to Vietnam, but he's 77, I don't like any of them unless they were in the military. He was in the military the same time I was, I don't like any of them because, number one, I know how I was treated when I come home. So my age group of people, I don't get along with. I get along with 50 years old, 40 years old, 60 years old. But if they were in the same age group that I was, I have nothing to say to them.
No, I'm a very outgoing individual. I know a lot of my friends they needed a lot of help. became addicted to drugs and alcohol, and just had a hard time coping with the reality of real life.
What I went through then I drank a lot, and I never remarried for 12 years.
The alcohol was a huge issue for me. I was drinking easily a 30-pack a day. I kept a bottle of liquor next to my bed just so I could take my meds at night. I was in really bad shape. And if it wasn't for her, I probably wouldn't be here today.
I'm Marley Percy, and I am Scott's wife. The alcohol got to the point where I told him it was the alcohol or us. Like, it wasn't a choice. Interventions had been tried, didn't work. And I was like, it's either the alcohol or you lose everything.
I went to a couple other retreats, ended up getting baptized at one of the retreats with through a group called Wild Ops, which is a great organization.
Before the service, I was involved in church and religion. During the service, I kind of changed my thoughts, my feelings about it. I still believed in God, but I didn't quite understand.
So the time that I spent in Vietnam, okay, is like it's nothing now. It's all in the past. I never look back. I always look forward. I never look back. It's what you see in front of you, okay? Never look back, okay, on anything, anybody or anything. Just keep going forward, and you'll do fine.